Victoria Marino.
I can't hear.
Right, you're
Your
breaking.
Honor.
I'm breaking up. Is that better? Is that better? Okay, wonderful. We are, it's not better?
No, it's still breaking
Still
up.
very choppy.
Okay. That better.
Let's see.
It's gonna do to me while I was on break.
Here we go. It's there now, Judge.
It's there. Okay, I'm gonna stay right here in this position. We are back on the record in the matter of Victoria Marino. The parties have already placed their appearances on the record. Let the record reflect that Ms. Marino, along with both of the attorneys assigned to specialty court, have been in a breakout room where they were able to speak privately. Ms. Marino, your hearing today is by way of Zoom in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your hearing today by way of Zoom?
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, who wants to proceed? I think Ms. Branch, you all should proceed first and then we'll be ready.
Thank you and good morning, Your Honor. I'll let Case Manager Matthew Lorenz go about Ms. Marino's history and we can proceed.
All right, wonderful. Mr. Lorenz?
Thank you, Your Honor. So today we are having a hearing on Ms. Marino. Excuse me. She has been on a suspension in the program for 3 months, which started on September 16th, 2020. She was temporarily suspended from the program because she was non-compliant with the terms of her court contract. And some of that was due to her physical health from an accident that transpired on July 3rd, 2020. And so the court allowed her time to get her health in order. But there was also some stipulations where she needed to be compliant with her mental health services with Team Wellness, and she needed to continue to have contact with the case manager during this time. During this 3-month suspension, she has failed to be compliant with Team Wellness. She has missed several reported sessions. The ones I have in a report are November 3rd, 2020, November 19th, 2020, November 23rd, 2020, November 30th, 2020, December 3rd, 2020, and I know that she missed one last week as well, but I do not have that one in the report, Your Honor. She has also had several police encounters. She had November 6th, 2020, where she was arrested for an operating under the influence. She also had a she also blew a .19 on the data master. She was lodged in the DDC. She was also picked up on November 23rd, 2020 for another operating under the influence, where she was lodged in the DDC and she blew a .19 on the data master. She also has 3 driving tickets that she has picked up that are in the 36th District Court. All 3 are on September 10th, 2020. One is for a driving license expired. Second one is drive unregistered or untitled vehicle. And the third is a careless driving. So today we are reviewing her continuation in the program. At this time, my recommendation is to have her do a sanction of jail time around 45 days, and then be allowed to return into the program and have another attempt to work the program and be successful. We believe that she has a lot to gain in the program. There's a lot that we can offer, and we would definitely like to see her get her life on the right track.
All right, thank you. Defense counsel, would you all like to go next? Before I hear from Ms. Marino and the prosecuting attorney.
Yes, Your Honor, we can.
Or, well, maybe the prosecutor should go first. I'm sorry, Ms. Rogers.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Can you guys hear me all right?
You're fading in and out.
Let me switch microphones. Okay, is that any better?
Yes.
Okay, great. Ms. Marino, I'm happy to appear in front of us today. My recommendation is.
Hold on, Ms. Rogers. Hold on, Ms. Rogers. There's some music that I'm hearing. I don't know on whose end. So what I'll do is let's have everybody mute. That may help us out. And then Ms. Rogers, your speaker, at least on my end, is still going in and out. It's very weak.
Is this any better now?
Yes, that's great.
Great. My recommendation is termination of Ms. Marino because of the totality of the circumstances. Ms. Marino honestly has never been in compliance with this court's order, and the entire time she's been in this program. We've even moved her programs from different specialty courts that might accommodate her better, and that still has not helped. We changed her conditions. We lightened them so she could get a hold of them. We put her in suspension for 3 months so she could focus on her physical health more than this program, and that still hasn't helped. It honestly escalated the behavior. She got 2 high BAC offenses charged with in the course of 17 days, and both of these, I believe, involved accidents. These are extremely serious allegations, and in my opinion, one of the highest, most serious misdemeanors someone can be charged with. And they happen so close together. Her behavior is escalating at a very alarming and a serious rate. In this court, of course, it's very important that Ms. Marino does better and that she is successful in this program. But most importantly for this court is the public safety and the people of Detroit. And Ms. Marino is very clearly a public safety risk as her behavior is escalating and getting worse. And if she continues at this rate, she will kill someone with her drinking and driving. She's in front of this court for an OWI offense. I believe it was charged as a high BAC and was amended down. So has 3 allegations of a high BAC, which is a very serious offense. She's not in compliance with anything that this court is asking. So that is why I do ask for termination. The court has worked with her at every turn. We have changed her conditions. We put her in suspension so she can focus on her physical health. And we've asked Ms. Marino to at least meet us halfway. And she hasn't even bothered to do that. She won't do anything that this court orders, which shows that she does not have any respect for the court or really honestly care. And being part of this program and buying into the program is very crucial. But in the alternative, if the court decides not to terminate Ms. Marino, I do ask for considerable sanctions. I'm asking for at least 10 days apiece per sanctionable offense. And I'm counting on police contact, and she's had more contact than I realized until Mr. Lorenz spoke. She had contact with the police in both OWI offenses and then 3 driving offenses. And then also for violating, for driving with a suspended license, which is another sanctionable offense. For her drinking, she had 0.19 on the data master 2 different times. And then for testing positive for THC previously before the OWI offenses. So I'm counting at least 4 sanctionable offenses. So I'm asking for 40 days in sanctions if Ms. Marino is not terminated from this program.
All right, thank you, Ms. Rogers. All right, Defense Counsel, do you want to go next or do you want me to hear from Ms. Marino?
I guess we would go next, Your Honor. Attorney Lamb, do you want to go first or would you like for me?
Just briefly, Your Honor, I concede, Your Honor, that the allegations against Ms. Marino are serious. As you stated, though, myself and Mr. Griffin had the opportunity to speak to her, and she is deeply regretful for the decisions that led to the police encounters. Again, while I acknowledge that some kind of sanction is appropriate, I would note that Ms. Moreno, prior to these allegations, was in a very bad car accident. She was under the care of medical professionals. She is also scheduled for a surgery sometime later this month. I believe in 2 weeks. Myself and Attorney Griffin were unable to confirm the date of that surgery. So I'm asking, again, I acknowledge that some sanctions are appropriate, but I'm asking that the court consider a sanction. If the court is inclined to sentence to jail, that is the time in jail not exceed 7 to 10 days, as to allow Ms. Moreno the opportunity to undergo the surgery that she has had scheduled for at least 30 days now, or at the very least allow her to report after sometime after that surgery.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Griffin?
Yes, just very briefly, Your Honor, in response to the recommendations and also the prosecutor, I was able to talk to Ms. Moreno along with, like I said, Attorney Lamb. And one thing I would like to just suggest to the court that we not terminate Ms. Moreno, not terminate her participation in this program, and maybe just I guess give her not saying more resources, but more attention in terms of, maybe she can benefit from having, a more strict plan with the court, with the program. I understand these, as Attorney Lamb said, these are very serious offenses. We are not trying to decrease the amount of decrease the charge in the court's eyes. We're just asking that the court consider the mitigating some mitigating circumstances, along with the fact that, Ms. Moreno did, she did dial in today. No one had to go to her house or, pull her out the house and things of that nature. We just asked the court to consider that. And again, she was suspended from the program. So, however, my suggestion is that maybe she needs to program that much more, and not being a part of the program on any level. Maybe that is one of the reasons why she is in front of the court now. And we would just ask the court to consider, again, seeing how important this program is. Maybe could be one of our more challenging clients, but again, in terms of the possibilities of her being successful, we would just ask the court to think about that too. All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Wade, or any of the other partners that are on, is there anything you'd like to add before I hear from Ms. Marino, or you can speak after I hear from Ms. Marino? Mr. Wade, if you're speaking, you're muted.
I'm sorry, Judge.
There
Yes, I would like to respond. Mr. Griffin indicated that we could consider, a strict plan. We have had a strict plan in place with Ms. Marino from the case's inception. So I don't think it's the plan, but it's her lack of willingness to be in compliance with the plan. And although she did dial in today, her court time was 9:30 and she dialed in at 10 o'clock. That's an example of her lack of compliance. So moving forward, all of those issues would need to be addressed. And certainly I would like to see, or like to hear rather, what she's going to explain to the court on, if she's given another chance, what she's going to do different.
All right, thank you. Ms. Marino, what do you want to say to me or to the court, to everybody who has invested so much time and who's been on your team and who's been trying to keep you on track, and we've adjusted and we've readjusted and we've done things that we have not ordinarily done in problem-solving court, but it's okay because we oftentimes operate outside of the ordinary. And so what do you want to say? I'm listening to all of these things. You came onto my in my courtroom back in September in a neck brace and a back brace, and You were so sick, you could hardly keep your eyes open because you had to take your medication. And then shortly after that, or even before that, you had already picked up a driving ticket before I saw you. You picked up a ticket, 3 tickets on September 10th for expired license, for unregistered vehicle, and for careless driving. And so already you were having contact with the police because you are innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And then to continue to do or have contact with the police for the very thing that brought you to me, not just in one specialty court, but you've now been in 2 specialty courts because we've tried to accommodate you and meet your needs. I am interested in hearing, what do you have to say to me this
First off, I want to apologize for having to come on here and see you on the courts, everybody. I have messed up a lot, but there's been a lot of things that's been going on in my life that really nobody knows about. I don't know what to talk about me missing on my therapy things because I talk to my therapist and my doctor all the time. I missed one time and I got in trouble by you from that.
No, we staffed with Miss Willis this morning, and she confirmed you have not been doing your mental health follow-up.
I've been talking. I talked to one yesterday, my doctor yesterday. That's with Miss Willis. So I mean, I know when I got my medicine changed because she asked me what was going on. Why did I relapse? I told her I relapsed twice, and that was the 2 times I got from OWIs. I relapsed. My grandmother passed away. I know that's not an excuse. It was her memorial. My grandfather just passed away a couple weeks after that. Then they told me I have to go back in for a back surgery, and I told them I don't want that was my main thing of me not going back in the hospital and ever opening my back up. And they said that it's not an emergency, but I need it done because one of my discs slipped in my back. So, I mean, this program has really helped me a lot because I was clean for 6 months or more. After that, when I came home, I was clean. I wasn't drinking. I ain't been doing no pills my choice of drug was. I ain't been doing none of that. Only type of pills that I take is the ones that my doctor gives me or the mental health court, the therapist gives me. That's the only thing I take. And drinking is not something that I really like to do. I just did it at that point in time because I was depressed. I mean, that's not an excuse.
It's not. And let me tell you why it's not an excuse, Ms. Marino. We have equipped you and made available to you every single resource that you could pick up a phone because you led me to believe you couldn't walk, you couldn't move, you could hardly breathe.
I couldn't.
We equipped you with every single tool where you could have picked up the phone and called someone, and you could have immediately gotten grief counseling, somebody to talk you off the ledge. Your meetings, you were supposed to still check in. You could have done those by way of all from the comfort of your home, where you led me to believe you were confined to it because of your physical limitations.
Right.
And so we equipped you with everything. So I'm satisfied that I've done everything that I could do to help you succeed if you want to. I can't make you pick up the phone. I can't make you reach out to your therapist. I can't make you go to grief counseling. I can't make you pick up the phone and tell your case manager, I'm on the ledge, can you coach me? Can you talk to me? So that he can coach you or she can coach you and then point you in the direction of some additional resources, all of which we would have provided in the comfort of your home because you led me to believe that you were physically not capable of going out into the universe to get these services. And so when I hear all of these things where you've put me in a position, Ms. Marino, that I have to balance protecting the public and trying to keep you on track and getting you on a path of wholeness and getting you on a path of helping you to overcome some of the challenges that you have. And that's a tough balance. When your contact with the police is, first of all, you shouldn't even be behind the wheel of a car. If your physical injuries are to the extent that you led me to believe they were, you shouldn't even be driving. That's the first thing. Shouldn't be driving. Secondly, not only your contact with driving without a license, but the contact you've had with law enforcement is drinking and driving. And notice I say contact because she has not accepted a plea or anything to that of that nature. She indicated that she relapsed, but I'm not tying the two together. And so it's drinking and driving related. That's where you put everybody else in danger with that type of contact. Everybody you see on this screen, everybody who's on this screen, you put everybody they love in danger. You even put the people they don't like in danger. And that I'm not going to have on my watch. I am not going to have that on my watch. Ms. Marino, you have been with me long enough in not only this specialty court, but in a previous specialty court where I have stated, reiterated, stressed, you cannot be out in the public having encounters with the police. And I am here and the team's here trying to help you, trying to get you on track, trying to get you positioned so that you can have some favorable outcomes once you complete the program. You cannot do it. You cannot. I say it over and over again. And you've done it, not once, not twice, 3 times. And I cannot have it. I will not tolerate it. I have listened to the recommendations of all of the parties. I'm taking all of those things into consideration. I'm also considering the information that Ms. Marino has given us. I would like to tell you, Ms. Marino, you look better today than what you did in September when I saw you. And so I hope that your
I gained a
body,
lot of weight because I was really skinny from being in the hospital.
well, you look good today compared to what I saw in September. So I'm glad in that respect that your health is getting better because I know you sustained some pretty, serious injuries. But Ms. Marino, I cannot have you out there endangering everybody, including yourself.
Right.
So having considered what we talked about in staffing on this morning team, as well as the recommendations that I've heard today, as well as what I've heard from Ms. Marino, I am not going to terminate her at this time. I'm not going to terminate her, but I am going to sanction her on this morning. And I'm going to sanction you pretty heavy, Ms. Marino, because your behavior, your contact is unacceptable. And that sanction is going to be jail time, Ms. Marino. And that jail time is going to be, I was at 45 days. I'm going to take into consideration that she had some things happen in her family, but the best I can do on today is 40 days in the Wayne County Jail. 40 days in the Wayne County Jail. We can do this one way or the other, Ms. Marino. You can either turn yourself in or we can come and get you. Either way, you're going to the Wayne County Jail and it's going to be for 40 days. When she comes out, we will talk about where we go from here. And so, Ms. Marino, how do you want to do it? Do you want to turn yourself in or do we need to come and get you?
No, I'll turn myself in.
All right. And so, Deputy Chief, I know that you're on, and Captain Johnson, tell me the logistics, but I do need you all to know that if she does not comply with that turn in, I want her picked up immediately. I have to make sure that we keep everybody safe. So give me some logistics.
What is the time line for Ms. Marino to turn herself in is what I would like to know.
It's Wednesday. I'm willing because she has minor children. I'm going to take that into consideration. I'm willing to do Friday, but I want Friday morning, no later than 9:00 a.m. So that way, if she does not turn herself in, we will have time to pick her up.
Okay.
And just for the record, if I have to pick her up, I am going to sanction her for not turning herself in because she indicated to this court that that was her preference. And I'm giving her that opportunity. If she does not turn herself in, I'm going to increase the number of days that she stays in the Wayne County Jail. Ms. Marino, did you hear what I said?
Yes.
All right, I want to make sure you know. So, logistics?
Yes, ma'am. Director Wade, can she still turn herself in at the court? Can she still do that?
Yes, sir. I will make those arrangements where she should report to 36th District Court this Friday, which is December 18th at 9 a.m. and I will have security meet her at the door to take her into custody at the D room.
And then Director Wade, you'll let me know if there's any additional assistance needed.
Yes.
So from the 36th District Court, Director Wade, she'll be going to DDC, or will she be coming right over to the jail?
She should be going directly to the jail.
Okay, that should be the Hamtramck jail, actually.
Okay.
Is that satisfactory, Your Honor?
It's satisfactory. And so but here's where I am. 9:05. If Ms. Marino has not reported to 36th District Court, I'm going to keep the warrant in the system because I want her picked up. I want her picked up.
Why are they taking me to Hamtramck?
That's where our female population is, at Hamtramck, unless there's some mental health conditions where you need to be downtown.
But she is in mental health court, Deputy Chief. I'm going to mark the committal order for mental health.
Okay.
And so if there are some additional services that she should be receiving and taking into consideration her physical issues, then by all means, I'm going to note both of those on the committal order though.
That's fine. Long as that's there, then Captain, yeah, we can take it right over to Division 1 if that's the case.
Okay.
Downtown jail.
So
Mr.
Deputy Chief, you will contact, who do we need to contact so that they know she's in custody and to pick her up to convey her to Division 1?
So actually, I thought, so Captain Johnson, you all are not conveying, is that correct?
Yeah, we can handle that.
Okay.
So Director Wade, just let me know and we'll handle the logistics. We'll handle
Okay,
it.
very good. Okay.
And if someone can let me know when she gets there, then I'll let our team know, particularly Director Ramo and those who are classifying that she's there, and she's to be there until the order is, until the time, such as time as the order is exhausted.
All right, very
Right.
good.
And Judge, can the order please include no early release?
Absolutely. And Deputy Chief Washington will make sure that she serves out the sanction.
Yes.
And I am going to place a return to court where she would return. I'll do it. Deputy Chief, how many days should I count out to do that return to court if I'm sending her for 40 days?
At least a week or two before.
A week or two before?
Yeah, so it'll go into our system and it won't be any kind of misunderstanding.
All right.
The report.
All right, I'll get that date from the clerk in my courtroom. It'll be on the committal order.
And I was going to say, if you have it on that order, that'll go right into our system as well.
All right, very good. I'll get that date.
All right.
Thank you. Any questions for me?
Judge, in the event security at the court needs a copy of the commitment to jail, will they be able to get that from your clerk?
They should. I'm not certain who's servicing in my courtroom. I'll figure that out
Okay.
once we release Ms. Marino, but we'll make sure that security and then they get the proper notifications.
Very good.
Ms. Marino, when you come to that court, do not leave. I don't care what they tell you at that door. Do not leave. You need to be in custody and there and ready to go over to the jail, okay? On Friday, 9:00 a.m. is your time, okay?
So Ms. Marino, in the event you get there and there's some type of miscommunication, don't leave and say, well, I showed up and they said this or they said that, because they will contact someone and we will get it straight.
Okay.
Okay.
Ms. Marino, also Deputy Chief Washington here, Wayne County Sheriff's Office. When you get to the jail during the intake process, I'm sure you've probably been through that before. It's going to be very important that you list those kind of medical conditions that you're having from the beginning, not a few days after you've been there. So we need to know that coming in the door.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
Your Honor, the only thing I want to add for you is that the prosecutor brought up the THC. I forgot to mention that, and I apologize. The date for that positive screen was on October 6th, 2020. That's all I have, Your Honor, and I apologize.
I need that for my records. Thank you, Mr. Lorenz. All right, Deputy Chief, were you getting ready to say something?
No, I think I'm all set. Yeah, I think I'm all set. I just want to make sure she remains at Division 1. We do have medical facilities at Division 3 as well. So, Ms. Marino, it's just going to be a conversation that you need to have to talk about why it is that you at Division 1 based on your pending surgeries and things like that. So you can get that type of medical condition at Division 1, as well as the mental health part as well.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right, Ms. Marino, I hate to have to send you this type of message, but it's necessary. I hope that you'll get back on track, take some time to think about what am I doing, where am I going, and what is my end result? What is it likely to be? And we know that, anytime you mix alcohol and driving, just allegations, that there's no happy ending. There's a high likelihood somebody's going to jail and somebody's going to the graveyard. I don't want that for you, but I certainly don't want that graveyard piece for anybody else, especially for somebody who has not made the decision to drink and get behind the wheel of a car. Okay? And so I want you to spend some time thinking about that. Think about how can I get this back on track? Because I'm not giving up on you. I'm not. I think the strong message is necessary, but in no way should it be interpreted that I believe you can't get on track, get yourself together, and live a good life, a normal life. Because this stuff, it can be fixed. It's going to take some work. We're willing to do it. But right now, it's a matter of balancing the safety of safety too. Okay?
Right. Okay.
Very good. If nothing else, thank you to the team for joining us on this morning. I don't know if you can still hear me. All right. Thank you for joining me on this morning. And I'll get some clarification from the clerk in the courtroom once we go off live. And if there's nothing else, everybody enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Judge.